And welcome back once again. This is Aluminum Tarot. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm going to go ahead and read for the water signs today. We're reading for the sign of Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. We're going to go ahead and start off everything with the Kipper deck here and start reading with these little guys, so that way we can get a few additional messages for the reading. Now, before we get started, if you like what you see here and it resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe. Please ding the notification bell so that you don't miss any messages or updates from the channel. Also, if you like a personal reading, please reach out to me at the description box, the website in the description box below. Feel free to send a message over and we'll go ahead and sort that out for you. Offer very competitive rates, so hopefully that works with you. Also, please avoid any scammers or people on the internet posing as tarot readers who are basically, botching up the tarot community, stealing people's clients. This is, of course, a business, so a lot of people treat it as such. If you find these people, please block and report them. Make sure that they do not get a chance to rise up again. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and kick this off with the Kip decks. Now, we're starting out for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising for June 2023. What messages have you got for Cancer for June 2023? What messages have you got for Cancer for June 2023? What messages have you got for Cancer for June 2023? What messages for Cancer June 2023? Okay. All right. 3 messages for Cancer. What's the first one? Gaining of a lot of money. Good job, Cancer. Military person. Oof, what just happened there? That's never happened before. Alright. Not sure. I'm going to give that one a third go. There we go. So, house. What I'm getting from this, firstly, we have the gaining a lot of money. So, of course, this means that you may have inherited this or you may have saved this up quite a bit. And you have in this the number 11. 11, can either be 11 or it can reduce to 2. And what we see here, we have a person here who's actually been playing their hand in fate, destiny, to win a lot of money here. And of course, whenever you gamble, we gamble with a lot of things in life, quite a few more than what people, initially believe. Most people just believe that, you have to go to the crap table in order to gamble. But no, we actually take risk on a lot of things. Saving up for something that's very important, whether it's a house or a car or something, can be very much like gambling, because you don't know if you're going to get the loan. You don't know if you're going to, keep that particular asset for a long time. You don't even know if you'll receive the one that you want. So everything's a risk in life that we take, especially in finances. So in this particular one, maybe perhaps you had a windfall where you received a lot of money from someone and that they were able to give you this money, which you're now going to use for something else. Moving on, we have the military person, and this is indicating a person of high status on a white horse, that horse being purity. Hopefully not a pale horse, which means death. But, they're here at a military camp, and Probably they've just finished conquering some stuff. I do see a statue head at the bottom here, indicating probably they desecrated someone's ancient culture. I'm getting Palmyra vibes in here, which, that was a terrible situation. Anyways, with this, of course, this person could be of high rank, lieutenant, colonel, one of those different positions. And they are, maybe the person in question here, the Cancer in question, has a military background or has lived a military lifestyle for quite a bit of time. Then we have the house. So, okay, pretty much self-explanatory, but we'll look at some of the imagery in here. We have looks like a fox or some weird creature out in the front. And you have a woman holding a lantern, walking in the nighttime. You have the moon representing illumination or secrets or, anything related to the intuition, fears, doubts, and uncertainty, things of that nature. And this doesn't look like necessarily the most inviting of homes, but at least, you can tell that when they go inside, they're going to be safe and secure, with the world outside around them being kind of like a hostile area. So the home is related to Cancer, of course, Cancer being the fourth house as well. And it indicates a kind of respite from the natural world where you can go inward and that you can actually live securely, so that way, you feel safe and sound. So putting all these three together, one moment, I'm going to take a sip of coffee, take a sip of tea actually. Of course, it's flu season here, so I'm getting by with what I got. Putting all these three together, it seems like you've gained some money from an inheritance, and now, it could have been from someone that was in the military, so if someone who that's passed, like a father or a mother, has left you a lot of money, and now you're using that to buy a house and save up your money to decorate or to do things with that house. So that said, let's go on to the tarot reading. Going to be using the steampunk for today. And we're going to go ahead and go straight into the reading. And I do apologize, I am slightly ill at the moment because temperatures are fluctuating around here. And of course with that, so does the health. All right. Anyways, let's begin. Cancer, Sun, and Rising. What do we have for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising? Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising for June 2023. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising for June 2023. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising for June 2023. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, June 2023. What messages have we got here? Okay, so Cancer currently. Two of Vengeance. Two of Wands. Challenge. That's a challenge. The Devil. What is recent past? Near future. Clarify. clarify. Okay, what's at the root of the reading? What's at the crown? Okay, how does the Cancer see themselves? Almost went into the T. So that's the environment. What about the hopes and fears? And finally, the outcome. And there we have it. Finally, the moon. Clarify. I just got this for someone else, and I think that was Gemini. So if you've got Gemini in your chart, you might want to go look at that reading. We're going to go ahead and clarify this and get into the reading. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Wands, which means that you are basically looking for some kind of victory, potentially a victory at work, or a victory or attention for your accomplishments and your achievements, and you have people lauding you in the background for this particular card. So this is definitely a card that you want to have some kind of victory and something that you have been doing for quite some time, and we're going to clarify exactly what that is. So firstly, you have the Two of Wands crossed by the Devil. In this, it's the Cyborg. I love this deck because the imagery on here is so unique. Satisfies the futurist in me. What you do, you have the Two of Vengeance, which is indicated here, a kind of decision or choice that you need to make. And however, if the challenge of this is the Cyborg or the Devil, it indicates that maybe that you are feeling restricted or bound in this choice or in this decision. Perhaps you're being held back by fears and limitations, restrictions that are preventing you from making a positive choice. Maybe you're afraid of which direction you need to take, and that you're having a bit of difficulty moving in that direction. As you can see in the background, you have the fears being, the bounded, restricted woman in the background here. So that said, moving forward, in the recent past, you have the High Priestess, which is the Aviatrix here, reversed, and the Empress reversed. So what we find here is that you have a kind of like not really listening to your intuition on something. I don't know why I get that. Now, for you, perhaps when you didn't listen to your intuition, you actually found that something just kind of died off. So I'm not really sure exactly what this thing was, but pretty much it gives me a feeling that you didn't really know that something was going to grow into something that you thought it would. Let's find out exactly what that thing is. I'm getting in my mind like, whoops, or I'm getting in my mind like, yeah. Five of Pentacles in reverse. So you're coming out of the cold from something. When I see all three of these together, what I do find is that the person in question has gone through quite a bit of loss. They have not been feeling very abundant, represented by the Empress reversed. They have not really felt connected to their intuition, which is the High Priestess, and they also really deeply desire to come out of the cold, and to perhaps out of financial difficulties. And I think that's what we saw with the, windfall, the, getting a lot of money card from the Kipper deck. Maybe because in the recent past, this person has been left in a bit of lack. And so it's basically taken them away. It's torn apart their head and heart. And they've been feeling like they're not worth or valued what they should be. And additionally now, they've been working really hard to come out of the cold and to finally replenish their, finances, or to get out of the hole that they've dug, perhaps a lot of debt, perhaps due to the vices here, which have been the challenge here in the devil. Maybe it's a decision to let go of the things that have put them in the financial situation in the first place. Perhaps the person has been gambling a lot. Perhaps the person has been going on a lot of dating, serial dater. Perhaps they have been having a lot of sex and going around town. Of course, that costs money as well. Or perhaps just piss poor spending. And essentially what they've done is dug a hole of debt. This seems a bit more like an impulsive type of spending, which would be done to kind of fill in the hole of something else. Some people become materialists because they have a hole within their heart that they need to fill. So in the near future, what we see here is the Eight of Wands and the World. I'm getting the feeling like a person really, really wants to shut the door on the past, and they want to move forward swiftly. This could also indicate, because these are two cards of travel, long distance. This can indicate a person who is deciding to go on a long distance trip, and we're going to find out why. Why is this person going on a long distance trip? Yeah. Okay. So this person wants to go on a long distance trip because, of course, they have divorced. They're separated from their partner, or they've divorced from their partner. That could be one of the reasons why they probably don't have a lot of money. Perhaps they've been using their finances to dull the pain of the loss of this relationship, and now they are moving forward into a long distance journey, so that way they can overcome the burden and the bitterness from the loss that they've received. Because right now we have in the core, we have at the root of all of this, we have the Eight of Swords reversed, and what this person is trying to do is to come out of their head, out of the obsessive thinking that has been plaguing them so far. And maybe it's when they're in their mind space. This might be an air sign that I'm dealing with, related to the Cancer, or potentially the Cancer themselves has air in their chart. And yeah, Eight of Swords reverse, Ten of Swords reverse. So 8 plus 10 is 18, down to 9. It's the 9 of Swords. That's still a lot of mental conflict. That is at the core of this person. And so what they're trying to do is to get out of that energy. There's too much swords at the core of this. Too much mental energy going on. And even as I look at the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Swords reverse. Perhaps this is the person that they're thinking about, some kind of person who in the past was very cold, emotionally distant, possibly narcissistic, who they had been committed to for a long period of time. And unfortunately, that relationship has dissolved. Well, unfortunately, because you got away from it. But now I'm looking at a divorcee who has been trying to numb the pain of a previous relationship that they've gone through. Now they're, instead of doing something in the negative, they're moving towards the positive, which is taking a trip and taking their mind off of what's going on. You know, going from that mental space to projecting it outwards into the world, closing out the chapter of the former life and exploring new places in the near future. So at the top of this, at the crown of this, we have the we have the Ten of Pentacles. What is this Ten of Pentacles about? Can you clarify the Ten of Pentacles? Clarify the Ten of Pentacles, please. Clarify the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, the Fool. So with the Ten of Pentacles and the Fool, what I see here is a person who wants to kind of create a legacy for themselves. Maybe they're looking back at their life and they've made someone else their legacy, and that's not necessarily going to cut it anymore. They feel maybe like they've given everything, their entire lineage, their pentacles, to someone else, and now they're taking a risk on something new, so that way they can have something that's authentically theirs. The Fool is, of course, Aquarius energy, so you have Aquarius. That might be the air that I was reading earlier. Aquarius and Cancer so far. That said, we'll move on. We're going to go ahead and look at the next card. The person that you are is the Ten of Wands. Now, you have been carrying a burden for you. You have been carrying a burden with you for a long period of time. And essentially in this burden, you want to release it now. What are you burdened by, dear Cancer? What are you burdened by? Yeah, heartache. So, I pulled the card. You've seen that. It's the Ten of Wands, clarified by the Three of Swords. So what this indicates here is that you have been burdened by the heartache that you've been carrying for a long, long time. And you now want to drop that by focusing on a new environment that is completely different from the environment that you've grown up in and that you've lived in. Perhaps your parent, perhaps your family. You want to take a leap of faith to kind of back away from your family, like all other people connected to your lineage, and just do you for a bit. That's one of the reasons why you're taking this trip. And of course, this is going to give you the mind space to kind of clear out all the negative thinking that you've been doing over the past year, 2, 3 years. So that said, in your environment, you have the Nine of Wands, reversed, and the Queen of Cups. So this is, I get for you just kind of giving up on your environment. Your environment currently puts you in your head a bit. And actually, I'm getting almost like a dreamy energy of this, where you actually want to give up what you have currently and move towards something that's a bit more fulfilling. Because the Queen of Cups, she actually looks at that cup to reflect and to give her heart to something that actually matters. And I think that in the current environment that you were in, you didn't feel like that. You didn't feel like you really mattered. Now I think you want to move over to something that does give you a greater sense of fulfillment. And perhaps you've just been looking around. I'm getting a picture of someone who's just sat at their home, kind of ruminating on their thoughts about the past, thinking about all of the sentimental souvenirs that they've got lying around, and thinking to themselves they just want something new. They want to change. They want to switch things up. And I think that is precisely what you're trying to do here. That said, we move into the hopes and fears. Now, these are very interesting cards for the hopes and fears. Now, you have the Strength, Four of Pentacles reverse, and the Knight of Swords reverse. So you're moving from the Strength, that is holding back, that is actually making sure that you don't reveal your hand too much. You want to be strong in this situation. This is going to be a big change for your life. You might be moving to a place where there are digital nomads. You might be moving to a place where you can stay long term and start your life anew. It's too much pain connected to the previous place where you were. You're letting that pain go. Four of Pentacles reverse, you're just letting it go, dropping those pentacles rather than keeping them around, and starting elsewhere. Knight Knight of Swords. I'm seeing this as a fear, things not moving in the right direction. So yeah, one other thing that you could be fearing actually is not having the strength to manage your finances while you do this, because the Four of Pentacles reverse can actually insinuate a kind of loss of material goods. Or it could even be giving up everything that you've got now that you felt so connected to, because Cancerians tend to be a bit sentimental with their value, or their valuables rather. And so it's like I see a person who's getting rid of a lot of things, who knows that they need to move to a new location, and essentially, hoping they don't regret the decision that they're making, because you do have the Two of Wands in the original part of the spread. Finally, you have the Moon and the Page of Swords. Now, for you, I see you not really knowing how this is all going to play out. You could be scared, making this great leap, which is indicated here by the Apprentice. This is what you know you need to do. You want to take that great leap to build your legacy elsewhere, but it does scare you. It is a voyage still. You have the Moon voyage, and it pretty much sums up exactly what you're dealing with now. You're taking this long voyage somewhere else to an undiscovered country where you don't exactly know what's going to take place or how you're going to end up. But I think that things will turn out they'll turn out okay. The Messenger of Airships, which is the Page of Swords reversed, that actually indicates to me someone that is going to it's like they want to know something, but they can't. Normally the Page of Swords in the upright is someone who studies. I'm getting this in the reverse, that it's a person who's just not going to take that risk. Sometimes it can indicate someone who spies from afar. But in this, I particularly see it as, you're taking that leap forward. You don't necessarily know what's going to happen, but it can be exciting. And additionally, it's okay not knowing, because here you have Seven of Wands reversed. The fight's over. You know that at least if you take this leap forward, that you're going to be okay. You can give up the fight that you've been fighting for a long period of time. And here at the bottom we have the Four of Cups, which indicates to me that, you're turning your back on what used to be. You're taking your life and you're moving it elsewhere. You're rejecting, you're feeling bored with where you are now. You're bored of the attachments, the unhealthy attachments to all the things you've had in the past. You're bored with the repetitive, mundane lifestyle that you've been carrying for a long period of time. You're bored of the routine. You're bored of, it's almost, I'm feeling like an anhedonia, where you just, it's like you want to feel pleasure, but you just can't in this particular situation. And now you want something that does give you pleasure. And the only way you know how to do this is to jump out of one lake, out of one sea, and into another. Of course, you being the Cancer. It kind of reminds me of the hermit crab, where they change the houses every so often in order for them to grow. So the hermit crab will actually, when it grows too big, it will leave its current shell, look for a new one that fits it better, and then it will move on. So I kind of get you doing that a little bit, where you're changing your shell and you're moving into a bigger house. But it's a house that will allow you to grow and that will allow you to be comfortable, more comfortable, even if it's thousands of miles away. Don't be afraid to make that change, because the new house that you carry is going to be one that you carry for a long time. In order to do that, you'll have to leave everything else behind. That's including the feelings of guilt, of shame, of fear, doubt, and uncertainty of the past, all of those things that have weighed you down in the past. Let them go for your future. And that's it. Thanks again for joining for Aluminum Tarot. I do appreciate your time. If you like what you heard, please like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell. And also, if you want to continue following, or if you would like a personal reading, please look in the description box below, and feel free to reach out to me at the website. That's pretty much it for today. Thanks so much for joining, and love and light.